When I was 6 years old, I was at the neighbors and they were mowing grass and kids were playing, and they think I went to get on the back of it to jump on the hitch, and at the same time they decided to go put it in reverse, and it went over top of me and took my kneecap and my toes, and until they amputated it right at the knee. One stage I went through 3 legs in a year when I was growing, when I was about 16 years old. And I bet you it's probably been 20 to 30 different legs. It's challenging, but it's all doable. Everything is, you know, if you try to and do things certain ways, it can make things easier. And then good help helps a lot. If I have help, they do what they can to help me out, that's for sure. I was kind of gonna take a job out of college, and then my uncle was my dad's partner. He passed away the late summer of before I started my senior year, or 4th year of college. And so then I decided to come home and at least help Dad for a while. And I never left. Out of college, we started renting a few more farms, and Dad pretty much just ran with his and then my uncle's. And then they had a promotion at the SES office where you got paid a few acres to do no-tilling. My dad is always conservationist, and he wanted to kind of try it anyway, especially on the bean ground. It's so loose and stuff. So then we ended up we could do so many acres, and they'd give you money towards it. So hopefully, if you didn't do everything perfect, you could still make it good enough for a year. But we started it then, and we never kind of looked back. It works so good for erosion and everything, we feel, and we have pretty good luck. In 2010, Dad had his stroke, and then that's why we started in 2011 in January, the partnership. Every day you learn something, you know, when he was good. Even after he had his stroke, he'd come out and he'd get in the gator and the mule and go around and stuff, have the workers take him around and stuff. And it was always, you know, did you check this? Did you do that? It's fall, you're getting ready for the water is to freeze, you got them turned on, right down the line. So you're making some money now, but you better put it away or better buy something that you're gonna need. Something you don't need, you better not buy, you know, otherwise you ain't gonna be able to pay your bills. Like you said before, when it's good, you better pay like stuff you're gonna use, fertilizer, fuel like that, instead of going out and buying a truck or something you don't need. It varies from year to year, but like 350 to 400 acres of corn and 350 to 400 acres of beans. Pretty much between Platteville and Cuba City is for all the pasture and all the crop ground. Most of the crop ground is all within like 1 or 2 farms might be in between them. Otherwise it almost all touches. I wouldn't say touch, but like I said, 1 or 2 farms in between is all, which makes it nice. You can kind of just go from one to the next to the next. But we sell most of the corn and the beans. The cattle, we use some corn and some beans. Not a lot. We feed just baled hay to the cows. No corn silage or anything. We use a little grain to kind of coax them and stuff like that, because they're like our pets mostly. And we have pretty good luck, but most of the ground you got, we need a little bit of hay on it anyway. Between that and the waterways, it works out for enough for us to feed. All black Angus. We got 1 red Angus and then 1 Hereford black. I always say luck is a lot. Probably marketing is one of the bigger things. And then staying up with the times. You don't have to have everything completely up to the time, but you got to know what's going on. Like with the hybrids, the fertilizer, even with the cattle, you know, you don't want to be breeding with some bulls that ain't as good as what you can have, because now the young stock ain't going to be as good. They're not going to be as valuable. My dad always said you don't want to milk in a cream can forever. And there's a little truth to that. At Cuba City High School, they have their like workshops, and the kids can do it. And then it's through like Southwest Tech, and they can do it like before. One did it before school, and then one did it at the end of school. They would come and then hopefully learn trades from like the farm and stuff. I think we did 3 or 4 different students now. One was my cousin, the rest were all like neighbors and friends. And then now we even got some college students that help us from UWP. No way any of this can work unless you got family and friends, because it takes a lot of people.